Happy New Year, guys. Happy 2021. It is a new year, new perspective on life. Not really, but new videos, new content coming for you guys. And I want to start this video off by just saying Happy New Year. Something that 2020 has definitely shown me is that life is definitely going to lead us to the unexpected, and we can, as much as we try to plan how life is going to work out, it doesn't always work out the way that we expect it to, no matter how much planning and time we put into something. The only thing that doesn't change is God and his promises. My church has started a series called The End Times, and even though with that title we all know what that means, the message behind these sermons for each week have not really been used as something to cause fear or instill fear into our lives. And to the unbeliever or someone that doesn't have that relationship with God, it may seem a bit alarming. If you have a relationship with God, you understand this concept of feeling at peace and having hope in God, which kind of leads to what this video is going to be about, is putting our hope in God and focusing on his good promises, his good and perfect plan for our lives. As humans, it's perfectly normal for us to get worried about certain things, but I've come to a point where the things that would have probably caused and riled up my anxiety so much don't actually cause me to have as much anxiety anymore. And I think that's because I'm focusing on what God has already promised for my life and what he promises to do at the end. We all know that whether you believe in God or not, that this world is going to fall apart at some point. We can see the fruits of that happening. We all know that we don't live in this perfect world. We live in a world with broken people. We know that through these unexpected anxieties and situations that our world is hanging literally by a thread. So whether you believe in God or not, it's not perfect. And putting our trust in something that is imperfect and unstable is going to cause us to feel unstable. And the funny thing is, we know how flawed and broken our society and world is, and yet we still doubt God. And I'm gonna speak for myself as well. There are moments when I still doubt God and his promises on my life, but that doesn't mean that I trust him any less. And I want to speak to other people that are struggling in their faith right now. The person that has control over this world is God. Ultimately, the only person that knows how our lives are going to play out from beginning to end is God. The main point of this video, I really just wanted to make this video to encourage the people out there that are struggling with their hope, struggling with their faith, or struggling with just trying to understand why. Sometimes we can focus so much on the events and how heavy and dark they are instead of trying to find a different outcome and solution to those things. I don't know specifically what story in the Bible it is, but one of my favorite parables that Jesus talks about is the two men who built their houses. One builds their house on sand and the other person builds their house on a strong foundation. The man that built their house on a sandy foundation typically refers to people that don't have that foundation in God. They put their trust in their finances, in their relationships, in people, in their own thoughts and desires and actions that could change at any moment. We as people change and evolve every single day. So putting your trust in things that are changeable versus starting your foundation and building your foundation on God, who is unchanged, forever the same, and never fails. I'd rather have that foundation than putting my foundation in myself. I've learned from my own personal life that the things that I have planned for myself have not always worked out. Sometimes they have, sometimes they haven't. So why would I put my trust in myself when I have someone that knows every single second of my life, and not only my life, but the 8 billion people that live on this world, and also the billions of people that have already walked this earth. God is so big and so perfect and so good and so loving. And I guess what I'm trying to say out of this whole video, don't know what I'm gonna edit out and what I'm gonna keep in here. If you could take away anything from this video, I want you guys to remember this one quote. No matter what happens, it may shake us, but it can never break us. And no matter what, we can always count on the one perfect God.